rates from an old lead perspective. Friday, we had the year-to-date low, and then it ticked down a notch lower yesterday. So you can have really influential, financial savvy people right now. I was golfing with one of them on Sunday morning, and they have no idea about the rates. He goes, hey, what do you think when the Fed cuts rates? Is it going to drop the mortgage? No, it's priced in. Like, it's already happened.
Yep.
So the Fed could actually cut next week, and rates on the 30-year fix could go up because it all depends on what Powell says. The 30-year fix is obviously going to follow the 10-year. And this isn't the scripting. We're just having a conversation here. The 30-year is going to follow the 10-year, and that's going to be more influenced by investors, much smarter people than the Fed. Where's that money moving? They're going to be watching what the Fed alludes to next week. Okay, but let's put that to a side. So we're going to jump in on old buyer leads. Some of those contacts that we have that are on the sidelines right now, and how to deliver a rates update. Let's start digging in here on, you've got either a pond, if you've got a active, vibrant CRM, then you've got a pond of leads that are on the sidelines, or maybe you're working off of some other type of format and you got this group of leads that are truly on the sidelines, even if it's 10, right? That are just sitting out because rates or prices. If you're a mortgage buyer, I don't know, Tom or Lisa, if you agree with me on this, but if you're a buyer using financing, rates and prices are the same thing to me. If you're waiting for prices to come down, but rates come down first, guess what? Your payment came down.
Mm-hmm.
You guys in agreement with that? Where we got to get out of the mindset of like believing when somebody says, I'm waiting for prices to come down, and they're truly waiting for prices to come down, because in the last 4 decades, that hasn't happened. So are we in agreement on that? That they're just the same thing? We're not going to like truly wait for prices.
Yeah, and I think what you want to say is, hey, so tell me a little bit more about that, Byron. Are you waiting for prices to come down, or do you want your monthly payment to be lower? Because that's how most people buy a home. And I would break it down just like that, because when we start getting into these investor terms, like we all get that stuff, most people don't know what the hell you're talking about. So, hey, are you
That's
waiting
right.
for prices to come down, or do you want a lower monthly payment? Because we can talk about that.
And everything I led with on the investor term is not how we're going
Of
to go.
course.
So Tom, let me run something by you here. Let me just run through this framework with you. I'll go kind of word for word on this, but you'll see me mix in some of my own language. Hey Tom, it's Byron Lazine with the One Team. How you doing?
I'm okay. What's up, Byron?
I know your time's valuable. I'm just reaching out because something just shifted that I want you to know about. I thought you'd want to know about it. So the 30-year rate just hit the lowest point of the year. Did you know that?
I really haven't been paying attention. I mean, we kind of decided we're going to wait until next year. Just didn't seem like it was our market. So where are rates coming in?
I totally get that when you're in wait and see mode. Some of this information I don't expect you to see, and I don't expect you to act on information that you don't have. But they're the lowest point that we've seen in the year. And depending on kind of obviously where your finances are today, that could mean very low sixes for you, maybe even lower. But when you and I last talked, Tom, rates and prices had really pushed a lot of buyers like you onto the sidelines. And what just happened with rates might change the math. So lower rates, obviously, and I'm Tom, I'm stating the obvious here. They mean lower payments and more buying power. Now, this may not be right for you right now, and that's totally fine. But Tom, here's the thing. The buyers who are moving early, and think back to all those buyers who moved early in 2020 instead of the ones that bought in 22. The buyers that move early on this stuff before everyone else jumps back in, they usually have the advantage of less competition, better selection, and stronger negotiating power. That window can close when everybody else shows up. So if the numbers for you start to make sense, do you want to put a plan together to be an early mover, or would you rather me just update you as changes happen?
When you put it that way, Byron, I don't want to be the one that's late to the game.
Okay, great. So why don't we do this? I can do two quick things for you. I can run today's numbers versus the last time you looked and give you a numbers plan. You'll be able to see the difference side-by-side comparison in the payments. And the second thing I'll do is I'll pull up options that fit what you originally wanted. I'll attach that numbers plan to it. That'll be the second page of the plan. Filtered for today's conditions. I'll notate areas I think where you're going to have a negotiating power. So let me just run those two quick things for you. That way you're not guessing. You'll have the data. And if the data makes sense for you, why don't we get out there here Thursday, Friday? And I've got Thursday at 3, or I've got Friday evening at like 5 o'clock, and we can go out and get into practice of taking a look at some of these homes and getting into some of the ones that make sense. Do either of those times work for you?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I'd like to kind of see these homes you're talking about first, because we've been totally frustrated with what's in our budget right now.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to send you those over. Just kind of assuming that some of these homes might be worth a look and getting into action on a time of year where negotiating is more of an option. Do you want to just pin down one of those times right now? And listen, if when I send you, there's no pressure, and you obviously can wait and see if things changes. There's a lot of people on the sidelines that are doing that. But listen, you're a smart guy. If you see the right homes, are one of those times going to work just so I can block it off for you?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably do Friday as a backup, but I really want to see these first. So why don't, I
Yeah.
mean, we can maybe tentatively schedule that. I mean, do you think rates are going to come down more? I mean, how far is this going to go? I don't want to buy too soon.
What I think about the future is almost irrelevant because we've seen these swings a half a point back to almost 7 happen multiple times in the last 3 years. I'm like optimistically hopeful that rates could trend down lower. Tom, what I'll say though is if that continues, that large party on the sidelines, and it's huge by now because it's been growing over the 3 years, they come out to play once those rates are like known commodity. Just like in 21, when everybody knew buying a home was a really great idea after being locked up for a year, everybody was competing with each other. Those early movers got the best deals. And in 2020, those buyers were so thankful that they pulled the trigger early. I don't think you need to pull the trigger right now. I do think you have time, and maybe as we're out there looking, some of this economic news gets a little bit better. We'd both be hoping for that. But being in action as opposed to waiting for the herd, to me, just puts you in the power seat, puts you in the driver's seat. So listen, it might not be for you what I'm going to send you over. And if we get out there and look, there's no pressure to buy, but you'll have the information to be ready when the right opportunity presents itself. So listen, I'm going to send you over that. I know we've set Friday aside. I'm going to send you over on the calendar just so nothing pops up on my end. And then I'm going to get you the numbers plan and the options that match up for you. I'll have that over to you in an email, and just give me a thumbs up on text if we're good to go. And then I'll see you on Friday.
All right, Byron, how'd you do? That was pretty good, and I wasn't so easy on you there.
Tom was like, still wishy-washy, which is good. You're going to get a yes either way with the framing of, hey, Tom, I can run today's numbers versus that last time you looked, do a side-by-side comparison, send you a numbers plan. Okay, the word numbers plan just makes it sound like it's a plan. I don't know, come up with a fancier name if you like. I kind of like numbers plan. It sounds like something I'm receiving. I'm getting something. Number two, I can pull the best options, right? So that gives a framework that they're getting something. But when I asked him I'm going to get a yes either way when I ask him, hey, if the payment lined up better with your budget, if you reviewed this numbers plan and it worked, would you want to see what's out there now? Or Tom, would you prefer I just keep you updated when these dips happen in the future if we see more of them? So I'm going to get a yes, keep me updated, or I'm going to get a yes, let's go out and look at homes. Okay. If I get a yeah, keep me updated. Okay, great. I have explicit permission to say something relevant when I reach out to this customer in the future. Not, hey, I'm following up to see if you got any homes that you like to see. That is a real garbage follow-up. Okay. That's asking someone, hey, have you identified any opportunities so that you can basically do half of my job? It's my job to find you opportunities. I want explicit permission to be able to engage on the conversation at hand, which is getting back out there and viewing some of these opportunities that I've identified that might have some negotiating room for you.